Hello and welcome to Maui. I'm here for Focal's Not a Conference, which is essentially a workshop portfolio building event that 60 photographers from all around the world are coming here to Maui, shoot some portfolio, take some pictures, and have a nice time. And I've been thinking a question that's come up a few times on the internet machine, and it is if styled shoots are cheating for your wedding photography portfolio. So I thought I would talk a little bit about my thoughts on that today, and hopefully they will give you some clarity if you are considering creating styled shoots or you're considering going to workshops, and how you can implement those into your wedding photography portfolio in order to grow your business faster, but in an ethical and responsible way. All of a sudden, I sound like I'm selling coffee beans. So, a wedding photography business, off the start, should not be 100% workshop content or styled shoot content. You do need to build the skills to become the photographer that you say that you are on the website. But if you can't emulate exactly what you're doing and what you're showing to actually book the work, you are going to do a disservice to your clients when they book you and you just can't deliver on it. And in a normal business, like, that's kind of a bummer, and yeah, you'll get some bad reviews and you won't get booked again. But in the case of wedding photography, it is a once in a lifetime event. So I think it is a much worse thing to go into that knowing that maybe you don't have the skills required to do the job. Now, what styled shoots and workshops can do for you is they can actually give you real life experience with your camera in those situations. They might be some situations that you naturally wouldn't find yourself in the first couple of years of your business. But I do believe that it is important to show what you want to sell in your portfolio. And I would say that one of the biggest turning points in my career was actually doing a workshop where the first half was all business and then the second half of the day was all shooting. My friend set up a workshop in Toronto and I got to shoot with people that were actually comfortable in front of the camera. So I think that that's something that I didn't get to experience a whole lot in the early stages of my career. When I showed up to a parking lot, my couples are usually as uncomfortable as I was, and it was very difficult to get the images that I wanted out of them. This was also because of my introvertedness and the fact that I didn't really know, maybe lack of confidence as well, that I didn't really know what I wanted to ask for, and I didn't know what my couples wanted to do. And I really wanted to get them to a place that they were just comfortable and happy and normal, but I had no idea how to do that. I was changing lenses every couple of photos to kind of buy me some time to be like, oh, what pose am I going to do next? I hope I got something. And people would just, the experience just wasn't there. When I went to this workshop, all of a sudden, those couples and those fake brides were very comfortable in front of the camera. And while this isn't necessarily the real life experience that I was getting in my business, this was a real life experience working with somebody that was comfortable in front of the camera. So I did learn a lot from that. I also got a lot of really high quality images. Looking back on them now, I processed them very incorrectly. So always save your raw files for your portfolio in a Dropbox folder somewhere, because you're going to change your style a little bit and you're going to want to go back and you're going to want to touch those up. Also, Lightroom gets better and better and better. So importing photos that you take today, 10 years from now, those files are going to look better. And if you're already a few years into this and you took some photos maybe on a lesser quality camera a couple of years ago, all of a sudden, Lightroom now, you're going to have a better job with AI noise reduction and the masking and the portrait detection and everything. You can make better images now with older files than you could when those older files were first taken. So I took a lot of photos that I could not have found myself in the situation of organically in my business. And if you are someone that wants to grow organically and you think that there's value in that for you, by all means, go out and do that. If you want to become more successful more quickly, I do believe that it is incredibly important to build the portfolio that you're just building your dream portfolio and continuing to do that for the rest of your career, myself included. I find a lot of value in coming to these shoots. We're now kind of in the admin side, setting them all up. I was in Iceland last week with my friend Cole. Before that, we did a mini Not a Conference with Focal in Las Vegas at WPPI, and before that, Nashville at Imaging USA, and before that, last September, we did one in Banff, which was amazing. And I personally find not only a lot of value in creating these shoots and running the business side of it, not for profit. All the Focal ones are basically reinvest all the profits. We take a bit of a loss on all of them, and we basically reinvest all the profits to make the event itself better, because the event is not the business. The business is the website, the AI generated website. Maybe let's talk about that for a second. If you need a business website for your wedding photography, head on over to bookfocal.com/Taylor, and we have a pretty amazing AI system. And the AI system is basically just you upload like 10 of your images. You do some verticals for your mobile website and then some horizontals and hero images for your other website and a photo of you. And then just builds you an entire website based on AI prompts. So it'll give you at least a 3/4 starting point of a bio. It'll actually prompt it and it'll write a thing about you. And if you want to go next level into it, there's AI blogging assistant as well. So basically you just like answer a couple of prompts about the wedding day and it'll just build you a website. So if you do want to get that website and you got the images and you want to build an amazing website in just under a minute, if you got the images ready to go, you can legitimately do that. So with Focal and not making money on these Not a Conference events, we have firsthand seen the value of what happened in Banff and how many of the photographers that were there are going on to book a lot of work based on the images there. Not based only on the images there. They've still done other work. They've built businesses in their own communities, but those Banff images really set them apart from their local audience. Now the question is there a number? What percentage of style shoot workshop images should be allowed in your portfolio? I don't think that there is an official guideline to this. It is at your own discretion. For me personally, I would say maybe 20% would be where I would be the most comfortable. Beyond that, I feel like you're creating a business, you're representing yourself as maybe somebody that you weren't organically. And while there is potential value in that in terms of just rapidly accelerating the growth of your business and finding yourself in those elopement situations rather than organically kind of working through the weddings. The first couple of years of wedding photography, usually not so fun. You find yourself in some really challenging venues and you have to make something beautiful from it. With workshop images, maybe you'll find your way to nicer venues and more beautiful locations a little bit quicker. For me though, if my entire website was all workshop images, I would feel a little bit dishonest with my couples. So this comes down to wherever your threshold is. I would not be going 100% all workshop images, even if it is the beginning of your wedding photography career. What I would be doing to supplement those workshop images would be actually finding real couples and going out and doing shoots with them. And while this is maybe kind of that styled shoot workshop borderline, if you are finding real couples and you're creating those images in a real life environment, I would be pretty comfortable having those in my portfolio and also having a bit of a story to tell on a blog post as well. I feel like from a business standpoint as well, it is very important to get involved in your local community, that if you're just doing these workshops and you're posting images, it's very difficult for anyone to organically come across you. Sure, you can use paid ads and you can find them on Instagram and bring some people in that way, but organic growth is going to be very, very limited in terms of referrals and in terms of just doing work at venues that are going to refer you, or that SEO that you're going to get if you've done a wedding or if you've done a couple session at a local venue. That's kind of the workaround for SEO. I think that if you can go there and you can do a venue shoot with a couple, not on a wedding day, you kind of at least begin to build that SEO for that venue. And if you do it in a smart way and you kind of showcase what the venue is and you talk to potential couples getting married there rather than just making a blog post for the couple, if you use it as an educational experience for couples, you're going to find that that blog post, once it starts to find its way organically in front of people, and not only that, in terms of becoming a preferred vendor at a venue, if you are the one kind of showing off the venue and telling people about it, and they go in to the venue and they're sitting with the salesperson or maybe one of the managers and they're talking about like, oh yeah, we saw you on this person's photography blog, that is going to be a pretty quick way for you to end up as a preferred vendor. If you can show them the stats that thousands of people a month are coming through to your website for that specific page, you're absolutely going to fast track yourself to becoming a preferred vendor at that venue. And what that means is that you have some sort of safety in the future. You know that some weddings are going to always be coming in and your business will never be on autopilot, but you do have that certainty of a couple of weddings a year coming in based on you being on that list. And that is a very nice place for your wedding photography business to be. Let me know in the comments what you think about adding styled shoots and workshops to your portfolio. And today is kind of day -1 of Maui Not a Conference. People are on airplanes today. People will be arriving tomorrow for kind of a day 0 Maui. Then we are doing we're doing the conference at Not a Conference, where we do a little bit of a classroom thing and a few shoots at the end of the day for the sunset session. And then 2 days of portfolio building, where you basically go out with a half-day workshop with everybody. And while Maui is happening now, and it is a bit unreasonable for you to probably get here in less than 12 hours, what you can do is, if you're interested, there are 2 fancy speakers on the screen here. They are both teaching. They're both the confirmed speakers so far at Not a Conference in Banff, which is happening in September, the end of September in Banff. So if you're interested in coming out to the mountains, and we did this last year, so we have the process a little bit more dialed to get on buses. It's half tourism, because you get to go to the nice places, you get to see all the stuff, but then it's also half workshop portfolio building. So you get to create your own portfolio in these spots. Again, don't use it as 100% of your portfolio, but If it's at 20%, you are going to differentiate yourself from other photographers in your local area. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you again next time. I'm Taylor from The Car here in the Target parking lot in Maui, and I will see you again next time.